we go. Good evening, everybody. Happy Thursday to you all. Hope everybody's had a great week thus far and the world has been as kind to you as it can be, and that you have felt supported and loved at some point in this week. And yeah, it's a pleasure to be back here this Thursday for Philosophonics. Had a couple Thursdays off, actually quite a few recently, due to some gigs and other things. But it's so wonderful to be back here. And yeah, we're going to wrap up the year with some cool topics. And this week, I wanted to, of course, do something a little bit different, as I do pretty much all the time. And I am going to divulge exactly what I am referring to in a song of mine that is called God or Seven. And so it kind of will go into a lot of the things that we've talked about in Philosophonics and hopefully just spark the mind with some curiosity, some good conversation. So sending love out to you guys. Thank you so much for watching. And we'll stick to the normal format tonight with some original music, then the chat, and one or two covers, depending on how we're feeling, and we'll meditate it out. So, yeah, get comfortable, and here we go, homies. Here's some original music for you all tonight. This first song is called Enough, and it's off my latest album, Dose. There you go, folks. That song was called Enough. And I'm going to put the Be Right Back on really, really quick because I forgot to bring my coffee over here. It's importante. All right, give me like 30 seconds. Okay, got my coffee, you guys. Um, I don't know what it is, but it's November and like a nice cup of coffee in the evening is so wonderful. Have you guys ever seen that Saturday Night Live skit where it's like I think it's Molly Shannon and Will Ferrell and maybe somebody else, and they are like in the Christmas sweaters and they do the podcast. I love that. I want to watch that right now after I'm done with this stream. All right, so next I'm going to play a song that is the topic of the evening, which leads to several other topics. So this song is called God/7, and it's about God overall, or the concept of God, creator, or however you like to call it. And 7, of course, is like kind of considered the number of God. So, yeah, basically that's why it's called God/7. So I'm gonna play it for you guys, and then we'll talk about it. Talk about it. Talk about it. Ooh. Okay. Yeah. Here is God in parentheses 7. I don't know why I do that. I like multi names. I digress. Thousand times the serpent comes, 1,000 minds have been made numb. The triangles planted our seed. They burned the books and made us dumb, and we forgot where we came from. We're buried for gold and for greed. So I can understand anguish The sky, the stars, the heavens above remind us there's much more than us. They're hiding it, 'cause truth sets us free. Relax your mind, open up your heart. Turn off the TV, come on, you're smart and stronger than you ever believed. So I can understand you're frightened, and I can understand the need, and I can understand revolution, 'cause there's something laying quiet inside me. That God is real as your heartbeat. The power to heal lies right behind your doubts. Just look around, you'll see it in the background. The sky with angels reaching. Be still, be still. Be still, be still. Be still, be still. Be still, be still, and know God is real as your heartbeat. The power to heal lies right behind our doubts. Just look around, you'll see it in the background. In the sky with angels reaching. Hey, what up, Jocelyn? Man, what's up, brother? You are here. That is so awesome. I hope you're doing well, and I'm so happy to see you here. And thanks for that cool little heart guy sending the. I don't know which way I should look, but sending it back to you like this, whichever way is the right way to be sending it. But I'm sending it directly because I am so grateful to have you here. You guys, if you are watching or watch this rebroadcast, there is a very special guest watching today. His name is Jason, and he drummed with me. And the older I get, the more, uh, Jason, that I like really, really appreciate you because I always think that it's that first like person that groups up, right? That like makes it happen, like the where two or more are gathered essentially. But the courage and the risk of being the first person that like joins another person together, once there's two people and you're making it happen, it's like much less scary for like a third person to commit or a fourth or fifth or Lord knows, a 30th if you're like polyphonic spree. But yeah, he was like one of the OG in San Marcos, like the OG bandmate of the Divine Anthology. So welcome. And starting in January, I'm going to be having some guests on. I would love to have you if you're ever interested. I'm going to have all kinds of colors of the rainbow, talking about some of these topics that we've been on. And so, yeah, glad to have you and anybody else watching. And I'm just going to go ahead and get started. And I will say, thank you, Lord, for AI, artificial intelligence, because for these episodes, I've been, of course, having to do a massive amount of research on some of them. And it takes a good while, like sometimes 4 days, sometimes like, I don't know, weeks. However, now that I've got my prompting improving with my chat GPT, I can basically be like, give me verifiable synthesis of this question I have that I pretty much know all the supporting evidence to, but I really need that factual stuff that, people that aren't into the woo woo are going to be like, oh, okay. And so it does that for me now. So this episode is brought to you by ChatGPT, essentially. Well, kind of, Anyways, it helped me. So thank you to that. And now I will break down the song. So the first line of the song is 1,000 times the serpent comes. And depending on what religion you grew up in, kind of depends on how you view when I say the word serpent, right? And so really quickly, I'm going to go over a couple historical references to the serpent. And this is what I mean by 1,000 times the serpent comes. Basically, there is reference to the serpent in every culture. Oh, yeah, chat. Boom. So I do have some images, and you guys please tell me if you get a chance, if I leave them covering my face way past the topic I'm talking about. I tend to have a little habit of that, but it's all good. Okay, so the serpent. The serpent is throughout so many different cultures. And as you can see here, here's a couple different representations of the serpent. So you've got at the bottom Adam and Eve. And let me just get into it. In Mesopotamia, the serpent is a symbol of fertility. It's also a symbol of immortality and healing, right? It's linked to Enki, which is the god of wisdom, and it has the serpent emblem is kind of the precursor to some other imagery in that area. Yeah, so Enki's symbol features those intertwining serpents, right? Then the biblical tradition, which is what I grew up with, basically the serpent is evil. It's from the tree of knowledge that you're not supposed to eat from. And basically Eve tempts Adam to eat the apple that the serpent gave her, and then stuff just hits a fan for the rest of history, etc. And that is in Genesis 3:1-14 as the story of the serpent, basically in the biblical religion and culture. Okay, moving on. in Egypt. If I'm looking this way, it's because I put my notes here instead of here tonight. So, um, yeah, that's why that's happening. In Egypt, the serpent has kind of like a multi role, and it, on one hand, represents chaos, right? Which is a pep or a pep, however you want to emphasize it. The chaos serpent, woo. And also protection, which I'm not even going to say that. I'm going to say this right. Wadget. Wadget? Waget? Yeah. I should have done, further pronunciation research, but it's okay. Doing the best I can, y'all. Cobra goddess. So that is a protection. So in Egyptian culture, you have actually two sides of the serpent going down. And those are depicted in a lot of the pharaoh's crowns. So there's your hard evidence of the serpent there. Greek mythology, it is a symbol of healing. You may have seen it on a emergency medical vehicle or on a hospital. It is a serpent going around the staff, and that is the rod. Why are these names so hard? Of Asclepius. Here on Philosophonics, we use the big words. And yeah, so that's still used today from Greek people. Moving on, Hinduism, Buddhism. The Nagas are semi-divine beings linked to water, protection, and spiritual power. Those are serpents. And they are depicted as protectors of sacred treasures. Mesoamerica, 1,000 times, right? The serpent. Okay. In Mesoamerica, there is the feathered serpent, right? That is like a crazy image. It's awesome looking. And it symbolizes knowledge, wind, and renewal. You can see this in the temples in South America or Mexico, I guess I should say, or both, probably. And then in the African tradition, of course, that's grouping the whole continent together. So I'm sure there is like many specific instances, but for brevity, they often represent, the serpent represents creation, wisdom, and once again, immortality. In Dahomey mythology, the serpent god Dan carries the world and connects the heavens and earth. And oral traditions describe this as a cosmic serpent encircling the world. Last but not least, and I keep on like scrolling on my not what I need to be scrolling on. In the Asian tradition in China, serpents are part of the dragon lore, right? Like they're linked to dragons, which I'm sure you've seen a lot of dragon lore in China. And they symbolize power, protection, and good fortune. And dragon bringers, they bring rain and prosperity, right? So, I guess I'm not going to say just in the biblical religion does it represent like an evil thing, because I don't know. I don't know in all the cultures. But the point is, 1,000 times the serpent comes. That's why we can do a whole episode on this, right? So, all right, next line. Also, feel free to put your questions, comments, and concerns in the chat. 1,000 minds have been made numb. What am I saying here? Well, literally what I'm saying is that millions, probably, of people throughout history have been withheld from information and development and technology and education in order to keep them enslaved or subjected to an upper class or leaders. And so that's what I'm saying there. 1,000 minds have been made numb. Basically, it literally has happened. So, examples of minds being made numb throughout history. Which this is great because I know some of these things, but not like the nitty gritty of them. So I will post a link to this PDF in the rebroadcast next Wednesday of this episode. Forbidden books. They don't allow certain books to be accessible by the general public for various reasons. So The Catholic Church, gotta love them. In 1559 through 1966, they have an index of forbidden books. They banned Galileo and they banned Descartes. Uh, the Qin dynasty from 213 to 206 BCE banned Confucian text and they executed scholars. Nazi Germany. I've got a picture of this one. Ooh, the serpent. Let me take it off. Okay, book burning. This is an actual picture of a Nazi book burning. They banned Jewish, communist, and, quote, un-German works. Lovely. So forbidden books. That's one way they have made us numb/dumb. Oh, that's supposed to be dumb. Yeah, they burned the book. Oh my gosh. Okay. That's the next line. Here we go. Don't get ahead of yourself, Ashleigh. I did rhyme. All right. Suppression of literacy. Basically the same thing. But don't let people be able to read or write. That's happened a lot of times. That's happened in the slave codes. Obviously, the U.S. outlawed enslaved literacy. And then the apartheid in South Africa. The Bantu Education Act limited non-white schooling. And in British India, educational policies prioritized British over Indians, and that was during the 19th century. Then last but not least, in this area of this line, there is news censorship. During the First World War, they censored the trench horrors, basically, with Britain's Defense Act, Soviet Union, 20th century state-controlled media via Pravda, and Tiananmen Square in 1989. You may recall the Chinese government blacked out and harshly suppressed all media covering this very violent protest. So yeah, 1,000 minds have been made known. Basically, over time, there has been a movement to keep us from learning and definitely certain people from learning. One of my favorite lines, the triangles planted our seeds. What is that, you say, Ashleigh? Well, I'm referencing a couple of things here. One, I'm referencing Egypt because of the pyramids and also the other various pyramids that have been found in parts of Asia and South America. Planted our seed. So this is where it goes into the theory of there's primates, they're evolving. I'm not too smart about these words, but there's Homo sapiens, and then all of a sudden at some point we have an exponential growth in intelligence and we start making tools, blah, blah, blah. This goes back to the theory that something higher than us inbred with the Homo sapiens and created the current human form as we know now. So that's going on in that line. And basically another thing I'm talking about in that, which I'll get to in a minute, is Orion's belt and the Pleiades. But I'll get to that in a minute. As you can see so far, guys, and Jason, you know this if you're still watching, like, I hide a lot of things in my songs. Why? Because one, I think I loved Tori Amos growing up. She does that. It's like you have to decipher the lyrics. So I try not to be that difficult where you have to like literally learn some obscure folk story to understand. But sometimes I like to do little things that are similar. Okay, so some evidence of that kind of situation. Of course, the pyramids happening. They are crazy. They're probably, or let's just say they're not just like ginormous tombstones. 100%, they're not just that. Elongated skulls. So a lot of the pharaohs and skulls that they found are elongated. So they look not human is the point of that. And, well, they look human, but like cone heads. Akhenaten had that going on for sure. And then there's the Dendarolite, which is kind of funny looking to me. Hold up, I got a picture of that guy. Now, there's so many things I could say about this particular image, but what one of the theories is actually, look, I think that's supposed to be a serpent in that what is suggested to be a light bulb. So that is one of the things that supports that uh we came from, a more advanced culture somehow. But some people are skeptical of that and they say that it's just reference to some others of their lore. But my thing is, like, why does it have an XLR cord like coming out of it? Is that a quarter inch or an XLR? That's what I want to know. Right? Is that a tube amp? All right, I'm nerding out. I digress. And so, they burned the books and made us dumb is the next line of the song. Here's where the word dumb comes in because I rhymed it with what? Numb. And so the one that I really remember the most is the Library of Alexandria burning. And that happened in 48 BCE. Basically, Caesar's forces burned the whole library. It was one of the largest libraries probably in the world. We don't really know the whole world at that point, but it was a big library. And perhaps there are theories that it contained like previous histories of previous rounds of humanity, which is not an uncommon occurrence to see that theme coming up. This is not the first time that humans have existed and then not existed, and it basically, like, I think we're supposed to be on like round 3 or 4. So, yeah, they burned that library, and supposedly some of that information was lost, and including other works that are super important, like Homer's Iliad and the Ptolemy text, and ancient science. So, also the Mayan codex were burned in the 16th century. The Spanish burned them and they erased knowledge of Mayan astronomy and religion, including the Dresden Codex. And yeah, the Nazi book burnings, which I showed earlier, they burned books by Einstein and Freud, losing critical, philosophical, and scientific works. Other book burnings in China, we talked about the Confucian and the Islamic world. They burned Greek philosophical texts. Lots of book burnings going on. So, burned books and didn't let us know that information. So we couldn't really, the point of that all is that nobody could really learn it because it had been burned, and we didn't really have the internet at that time. So once that book was burned, maybe there was some other copies, but sometimes not. And that information was gone, unless it was orally continued. Okay, we're almost to the chorus, you guys. We're doing good. 7:40, or I don't know what time coast to coast y'all are on. We forgot where we came from. Here's where I can talk about, yes, coming from a alien culture, and if you are of a particular religion where that doesn't sit well, feel free to throw it out. I would encourage you that there is a world where both can exist and it's okay. But if you don't want to have that world and both of them exist because of your religious choices, that's okay. So Orion's belts in ancient cultures. Boom. The pyramids are aligned with Orion's belt. Jason, if you are still watching, you're like, yeah, I know all this. Like, I could write a book on it. But this is what we talk about. This is what we want to have you as a guest. Including the Mayans also show similar alignments. The star people mythologies. Various cultures, including Native American tribes, have myths of ancestors coming from the stars, specifically mentioning Orion. And the Orion correlation theory, or the OCT, Robert Vival's Orion correlation theory links the alignment of the Great Pyramids to Orion's belt, including a potential connection to cosmic beliefs. And also because new stars and a lot of stuff are generated in that area, so why not new life? Why not us? We're buried for gold and for greed is the next line, and that is pretty self-explanatory. You look at things like so many wars were over greed of land or of resources, money. People kill for money still to this day. Uh, so yeah, we're buried for gold, money, or for greed, basically. I put self-explanatory. The one needs to say more. And then the song goes on, basically like saying that, I can understand that this is upsetting. And I can understand that a person would prefer to not think about these things and to not know them even, or to deny them. I get it. I get why you would want to ignore it all. And I'm sure that that is like a path for some people. For me, it's not my path. I like to stare at it all in the face. And hopefully this stream and a lot of the stuff that I've like backed up with research in the stream has made you all, honestly, I don't care if it's made you all. It's definitely helped me to know I'm not crazy, and that a lot of the stuff that I have stumbled upon is now like being discovered in quantum physics, and stuff like that. So anyways, that's what I'm saying in that little pre-chorus part. I can understand revolution, you know. All this stuff is just like messed up, right? Like all the stuff that occurred in the first verse. Then we get to the chorus, which is probably, of one, depending on who you are, one of the most controversial lines of the song, right? I guess that would be a heavy depending on who you are. So God is real as your heartbeat. And when I wrote the line, the concept was that we all have a heartbeat if we're alive, right? Like, and everyone does. And we don't really know, like, what makes it start and what makes it stop. We can, like, restart it with electricity, but as far as the actual continual beating of our heartbeat, that's where I got this line, is that it's such a great mystery, just that simple thing that there must be intelligent design of some sort. So here is like the best AI points about why intelligent design exists, or support of those things. So the heart's complexity, crazy. It said what I was thinking. The heart's electrical system is highly precise, and scientists still don't fully understand the origin of the first heartbeat or why it stops. Dr. Arthur S. Stern, a researcher in developmental biology, has noted that the exact triggers for fetal heartbeat initiation remain in 2024 unclear. This suggests that the involvement of a greater force in regulating is involved in life processes. The fine-tuning of the universe. The constraints like gravity and the strong nuclear force to support life is well documented. Physicist Roger Penrose in 2006 noted that even slight alterations, and I'm talking about slight, because I read a book about this, would make life impossible. This observation points towards a purposeful design of the universe's physical laws. And I was reading in that book too, like the statistical probability of it being like a random happening is just insanely unlikely. Okay, origin of life. While significant progress has been made in understanding biochemical processes, the origin of life remains also unresolved. Kind of like the most important questions. Dr. Stanley Miller's famous 1953 experiment showed amino acids could form under certain conditions, but no experiment has replicated the leap from simple molecules to complex life. That we know of, right? That is available to look at in the public. This ongoing mystery hints at guiding intelligence. DNA's information, the information coded in DNA, which we've done a whole episode on, um, resembles a design code. Dr. Stephen Meyer, in his book Signature in the Cell, argued that the specificity and complexity of DNA information point to intelligent design. I'm going to go quick through these but once again, I'll post this PDF. Slow down. Anthropic principle, as outlined by physicist John Barrow in 1986, argues that the universe's physical constraints are finely tuned. And then irreducible complexity, systems like the bacterial flagellum, described by Dr. Michael Behe in Darwin's Black Box in 1996, exhibit irreducible complexity, meaning they can't function without all their components, which implies that such as systems were designed as fully functional from the start, as evolution by gradual steps could not account for their complexity. We're almost through the chat, homies. The power to heal lies right behind your doubts, which we've also done like whole episodes on our ability to heal ourselves. So I'm not going to go super into it, but here's a couple references to share with your friends. The placebo effect, H.K. Beecher's 1955 study, it showed that the mind influences physical health, and patients improved with fake treatments, basically. The placebo effect in a nutshell. Meditation in 1970, Herbert Benson's research showed statistically it reduces stress, lowers blood pressure, and enhances immune function. And it helps your endorphins and pain relief. We've done all those episodes on that. Clearly, we know that we can heal ourselves or others. Just look around, you'll see it in the background up in the sky with angels reaching out. The sky, the stars, the heavens above remind us there's much more than us. So I have 2 more quotes here. This is from Stephen Hawking. The existence of life beyond Earth is a near certainty, and we should be looking for it because the odds are overwhelmingly in favor of it. And here is a quote by Frank Drake, who is an astrophysicist, creator of the Drake equation. The number of civilizations in our galaxy is so vast that it is unlikely that we are not alone. The discovery of life beyond Earth is only a matter of time, right? So already the government, I think, even though people say it's a distraction, I think they're going to out it this upcoming year. They're hiding it because truth sets us free. The next line. Basically, there's so many reasons why they haven't disclosed all of this and burned the books and done all of the things, but mainly it's to have control, right? And stay in power. The people that have been in control and stay in power generation after generation for most of humanity. That's the MO here. National security, of course, is another reason. Religious and cultural stability, right? Because if we truly can connect with God and do all these healing and things like that, it threatens our need to go to church on Sundays and make a donation sometimes. Same thing with, I put Tesla, right? Perfect example. He developed free electricity and essentially then he died. Relax your mind, open up your heart. Turn off the TV. Come on, you're smart. That's pretty self-explanatory. But here's some facts in case you needed to know why you need to stare at a screen less. Decreased cognitive function. Dr. Gary Small in 2008 brain scans showed reduced focus and memory activity, and 60% of heavy screen users report focus issues. Negative impact on mental health. At Harvard, they found 3 or more hours a day on screens leads to 35% higher risk of anxiety or depression. And social media linked to 66% rise in loneliness. Reduced sleep quality. Dr. Seisler at Harvard found that 90% of users experience melatonin disruption, and pre-bed screens cut REM sleep by 20%. So that's what I mean by that line is don't help them out making yourself into a mush pot by staring at a screen all the time. All right. And then I hit up the chorus again. And then there is the outro, which is Be Still and Know. And so that will be for our meditation. So that's basically, you guys, in a nutshell, the things that I think need like explaining and perhaps insight and factual backing up of me just spouting out a lot of stuff really quick. The why of why I write songs with these things in them is because I love every single one of you, and I want us to all rise up together and to not be held captive subconsciously, and to really know our own worth and our own power in the universe. The nature of the mind, as I've been reading lately. So, okay, I am going to do, I think I'll just do one cover. I'll start this in December. I was going to do a Christmas cover every week, but we'll wait till December after Thanksgiving. And I'll just do one cover for you guys tonight, and then talk a little brief, like couple minutes about Be Still and Know, and we'll meditate it out. So I love you guys. Thanks so much for watching, and I will be back next. Oh, I will not be back. It's so sporadic, the Philosophonics schedule right now because of the holidays. So next Thursday is Thanksgiving. I will not be streaming. I will be eating food. So happy Thanksgiving to all of you. May you be blessed. And yeah, I'm going to get some of my water, and I will sing you guys one of my favorite covers about God. I think it's also called God. Maybe it's called Laughing at God by Regina Spector. Thank you for watching. All right. Guess I should get the lyrics right. That'll be helpful. I love you guys. Thank you for watching all my random thoughts. I rebroadcast this on next Wednesday if you want to share with anybody or watch it again. Life's a guide when the doctor calls after some routine starts to uncontrollably shake. No one's laughing at God when they see the one they love hand in hand with someone else. They hope they're mistaken. No one laughs at God when the cops knock on their door and they say, "We got some bad news, sir." No one's laughing at God when there's famine, fire, or flood. But God can be funny at a cocktail party when listening to a good God-themed joke, or when the crazy say they hate us and they get so red in the face that you think they're about to choke. God can be funny until they give you money if you just pray the right way. And when presented like a genie with his magic like a genie, or grants wishes like Jiminy Cricket or Santa Claus, God can be so hilarious. No one laughs at God in a hospital. No one laughs at God in a war. No one's laughing at God when they lost all they got and they don't know what for. No one laughs at God on the day they realize the last sight they'll see is a pair of hateful eyes. No one's laughing at God when they're saying their goodbyes. God can be funny at a cocktail party when listening to a good God-themed joke, or when the crazy say they hate us that they get sore in the head that we're about to choke. God can be funny until they give you money if you just pray the right way. And when presented like a genie with his wishes like Jiminy Cricket or Santa Claus, God can be so hilarious. No one's laughing at God in a hospital. No one laughs at God in a war. No one's laughing at God in a hospital. No one's laughing at God in a war. No one's laughing at God in a hospital when they're starving or freezing or so very poor. No one's laughing at God. No one's laughing at God. No one's laughing at God. We're all laughing with God. All right, you all. It's been a pleasure this evening. I have enjoyed myself. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. And wishing you all a wonderful rest of your week. Thank you for being here at Philosophonics. And yeah, I'm going to go into the meditation. I'll talk just a brief moment about Be Still and Know, which is the last part of the song 7. And so much love your way. You guys, I appreciate you. So So the last part of the song is from the Bible. It's a verse that I grew up with, and it is a verse that I never had a problem with. It always resonated with me no matter. And it says, "Be still and know that I'm God." And that has gotten me through a lot of stuff in my life, and I thought it'd be the perfect ending for this song. And so in Hebrew, the word for be still literally means, I learned today, to cease striving. To cease striving. Or to let go. I always thought it was like literally still, but it actually means to stop grasping for anything so that you can feel the stillness of the mind and know your place and what you're part of. So just close your eyes for one brief moment with me. And just exhale out. Let out your day. Let out anything that's heavy. Let your body relax. Let your muscles relax. Your forehead muscles. Your brow. Let your eyes relax. Your jaw and your neck. Just let it all go. Relax your arms and your back. And your hips and pelvis. Let them become heavy. Let go of any holding or grasping in the upper legs. And the knees and the calves. Imagine the calf muscle just melting away any holding. And the feet. Let it all go. Try not to hold on